Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's Success Life Live. My name is Reid, and I am your coach. And I love coaching. I love the process of coaching and watching people discover their potential, begin to move towards their dream, to begin to shift their life in a direction that up until that moment they didn't think was possible. And so when I say I'm your coach, it is an honor and a privilege when I see people in the comments or in the feedback or in a private message refer to me as a coach, because I see that as a continuation of what I love to do, is to add value to people, to inspire people to move in their best direction, to resource people to become bigger and better and more of who they can be. And so when I see that word, I take it as an honor and as a gift. And so thank you guys for allowing me to step into your day, to step into your week, whether it's here on the live or through YouTube or in the podcast replays. It is always my honor and privilege to be your coach. And so today I want to talk a little bit about a follow-up from Fun Friend Friday with my friend Jennifer McClure Spurgeon. I hope you had a chance to watch it. If not, it is out on the podcast. It is out on the YouTube channel and down in the Facebook feed. It was one of the more difficult conversations I've had in this Fun Friend Friday space, in part because it did talk about such a raw subject, cancer, and the idea of being in treatment with cancer and having to live with cancer and all the words that go around it. Jennifer's fighting it every day. She's still doctor visits and follow-ups and all of that, though she is cancer-free. There's a whole lot of recovery required. So having that conversation was a little rough. But one of the things that sort of came out of it as we had the discussion was this idea of I surrender all. How she has had to learn about surrendering it all, from just showing up for the doctor's appointments and giving up control over her business and her family and the finances and managing everything that she does. That idea of having to surrender all of it during this chemo treatment and this radiation and this battle with cancer, it started me thinking about how often we say, I'm all in, I'm giving it my all, it's all or nothing. Those mantras and those cheers and that, coach's football kind of talk about being 100% committed to your dream, and how we say, I'm all in, I'm 100%. It's a do or die situation, leave nothing on the field kind of thing. Or leave everything on the field, sorry. And I'm like, really? Kind of like, truly. Are we all in? Are we really like all in? Or are we just in enough that if we risk and we lose, we still could recover? Like, I'm going to show up, but I'm not going to tell my spouse, my best friends, my coworkers, my teammates what I'm doing, because if they see me fail, I don't want to be called out. I'm going to go ahead and start living this dream, but not tell anybody so I don't get held accountable. Or I'm all in with this diet, but I'm going to keep a little bit of a secret crash diet snack food hidden in the back of the cabinet because I might need it. That all in kind of thing, it surprises me that so often we say we're all in, we're giving it our all, we're 100%, we're all, when we're really about 10%, maybe 10%. And in that 10%, we're expecting 100% back. We're thinking, you know what, I'm all in, but I'm only really 10%. And I know I'm only really 10%, but I'm going to tell everybody I'm all in, I'm fully committed, I'm living my passion, I'm following my dreams, I'm all in. When in reality, you're only about 10% in, maybe 20. Like if you're really pushing it hard, you're 20. But you expect 100% return. Show me where in the universe, show me where in our economy, show me where any place that if you give 10, you get 100 back. Because one, it's a midnight scam on TV and you're going to get ripped off at some point. But it doesn't exist. But yet we walk around telling ourselves, I'm all in. I'm 100% committed to my dream. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get what I want, etc., etc. You know those lines. But yet, halfway through the day, when you're feeling groggy and tired, you cash out and you go watch, an episode of Netflix or something. When somebody challenges you and your idea and what you want to create, you're like, yeah, I know, but I'm at least giving it a try. Well, I'm going to have a cheat day next week, but I'm going to take it today because I don't know if I can hold on until next week. Well, I'm all in, but I'm still thinking negative thoughts about my spouse or my family or my teammate or my significant others. I'm all into this goal, this job, this dream, but then I'm also working another hustle, another thing, and I'm not spending everything I got to make it. Like this all in thing. It just really started to play with me after talking to Jennifer. It's like, am I really all in? Am I all in on my relationship with my family and my significant other? Am I all in on my health? Am I all in on my finances and my dreams and all of the other things that go on in my life? In those areas that I want to see change and transformation, am I really all in? Am I really willing to give it my all? The entirety, the completeness, the fact that if it failed, there would be nothing left in the bucket. And I gotta be honest with you. I kind of sat back and I thought, no, I'm not. No. Some areas I might be 5% in. Other areas I might be like 30% in. Some areas I might even be like 31.5% in. But I don't really think that I'm all in. And that made me start to think of why. Maybe that's why the results that I want aren't happening as quickly as I want them to. Maybe it's the reason that what I dream to happen seems to be taking longer and harder and not materializing in the way that I want. Maybe the fact that I'm only getting 30% in is why I'm only getting about 30% back. The universe can't give me more than I give it. And so now I've got to start to look at my life and look at my business and look at the things that matter to me and ask, am I really all in? Am I willing to die on the hill for my family, for my faith, for my finance, for my fitness, for the things that matter to me? And so I was thinking back as we were talking about Jennifer and that I surrender all. And I thought, man, I do not want to get put in that position that there is no other choice but to surrender all. And what I mean by that is sometimes we lose it all so that then we realize just what surrendering it all is about. And we sometimes see this with celebrities. They'll be and then boom. You can give your all by choice to your family, to your fitness, to whatever goal you're working on. So as I thought about that, I surrender all. And surrender was an interesting word too when I looked it up, because it was about willingly turning over, allowing another authority, things like that. And I thought, okay, my dream, my faith, my divine Father, whatever it is that is my authority, am I surrendering it all? Or am I holding back? Am I living in doubt and fear and insecurity that I keep a little stash in the back of my desk drawer, so to speak? Do I hold back resources and time and talent because if this doesn't work, I don't want to get exposed too much because I can't recover from it? Do I keep a little bit of the story covered up so nobody really knows the truth? Because if I was all in, I would have no place to hide out. I mean, you've seen it in those movies when they walk across the field and they say, I surrender, and they've like got their hands in their air and they're out in the middle of the open field. There's no place to hide. They're like walking across the field and it's like, okay, if they don't accept it, I'm dead. Maybe we need to start thinking in the sense of all in on our dream, on our goals, whatever it is we're trying to transform in our life. Ask yourself today, just take a minute and am I really all in? or I'm only about 10%, 20%, 30% in. Like on a scale from 1 to 100, how much of all have I committed to this change that I'm trying to create? Have I gone all in? And as I thought about that, I realized that my awareness of all is based on my fears and my doubts and my insecurities and my comfort zone and being pushed beyond that. And I get all that. And that's a bigger and longer lecture. And it's probably a coaching call for some of us. But just sort of ask yourself, am I really all in? Or am I just in enough to look good and feel safe? And then how is that showing up in the results that I'm getting? Like, if I'm playing it safe, if I'm just on the edge of the comfort zone, if I'm calling that my all, and yet I still have time for checking out and doing others, is that really all in? And it's okay if you don't want to be all in. It's okay if you're doing this thing as a part-time side hustle transformation, whether it's in a business or your finance or your marriage or whatever, but stop expecting all-in results when you're only going in about 20 or 30%. You know, it's like watching the kids at the pool. You know, if you're in the shallow end and the water's up to your knees, your head's not going to get wet unless you willingly commit to go all in and under. And so it was really a follow-up to Jennifer's Fun Friend Friday. And I love Fun Friend Friday because I never know what's going to happen. It's always a conversation in the moment with people who I know have a story that needs to be heard. And I often am the person that needs to hear it. And you guys get to sort of watch on the sidelines, I think, sometimes. And when Jennifer and I tumbled across that towards the end of the conversation about she having to surrender it all, and that was on a very large scale, but also in her faith and her trust, I started asking myself, like, wow, what does that surrender all look like and sound like and feel like? And I went back and listened to a couple versions of the song, and I really started to dig into it and thought, what does surrender all look like? And have I ever surrendered all? And could I surrender all? And what would it look like if I did it willingly instead of out of a moment of absolute despair? And if I surrendered all, what would be the return? What does that look like? And so it just prompted a lot of questions for me. And I thought, well, hey, it's Monday morning. It's Success Life Live. Maybe other people have the same questions and thoughts, or maybe it didn't spark it in them and maybe it now. And that's what this is all about. They're conversations that I'm often having with clients and with myself and things I'm learning and growing. And obviously on Wednesday, when you guys send in the Q&A Wednesday part, it's questions and answers through that are all designed to help us grow and become better people, to help us become who we want to become in our lives in different areas or in complete areas. And so that's why I said at the top of this, I love the idea of coaching, and I love being involved in the coaching relationship, and I love what coaching has brought to me and what it brings to other people that I work with. So I don't know. That's the idea for today. Surrender all. Surrender all. And it doesn't have to be in a faith-based sense if that's not where you're at. But what would it look like if you went all in? Or even maybe more all in than before? All right, well, I appreciate you guys jumping in and joining me this morning. Take a moment, think it over, pull out your journals, write into it. You know, if not now is the time, maybe later as you're walking around thinking. Don't forget Q&A Wednesday. I need your questions. If I'm going to be able to answer them for you. A lot of people seem to love that format. Fun Friend Fridays are coming up. I got a couple gaps in Fun Friend Friday. I hadn't been looking around lately. I just sort of was letting it settle and simmer. So if there's somebody that you're like, you know who you need on Fun Friend Friday, or who would be a great Fun Friend Friday, or I just met or heard from this person or watched their podcast, shoot it to me at eric@erickgreid.com. I would love to get to know them and share them through Fun Friend Friday as well. So, and that's again, eric@erickgreid.com. And I think that's the housekeeping. I didn't do the subscribe thing. So you got to subscribe for the newsletter if you want the free coaching tip that comes out each week. And that can be done at ericgreid.com. Come on, somebody, /subscribe. And again, that's just a newsletter with a weekly coaching tip. And so it's, 5 ways to know your priorities, was last week's, and things like that. Just something that you can digest without having to buy a big, 300-page self-help book. So until we get together tomorrow morning, go out and live your life with success. Live all of it, all of your life today. Not just the work life or the personal life, but all of your life with success. You are worthy of it, my friend. So worthy of it. All right. Bye-bye.